All right, my good people. It is that time of the year, the new year. And New Year's mean new goals. And New Year's mean looking back at your old goals and realizing how much trying to
How
find a
ambitious. How ambitious you were back then. How naive. There
yeah,
you
trying
go.
trying to find a word there that would make that sentence make any sort of sense. But yeah, I Loon is joining me here. We're going to be going through our 2025 gaming goals. And how you feeling about the new year, Loon?
Um, I'm excited for next year.
Yeah.
I think that, well, technically, I think this will be going out during the next year.
Yeah, we're
Should
recording
clarify
this
this
at
is
the
being recorded in the past.
yeah.
Um, really looking forward to doing a little bit more on the channel, some more experimental stuff that we got lined up, and some big games that I've been looking forward to and
Yes.
can't wait to sink my teeth into. So, hell yeah.
Absolutely. I am pumped for 2025. Oh, before we jump into it as well, we're getting close to 2,000 subscribers on the channel. As of recording this, we're around like 1,950 or so. So we're only 50 subscribers away from getting to 2K. And when we do get to 2K, we're going to be doing a Q&A. So I figured why not go ahead, you guys go ahead, drop your comments down below of this video here for a Q&A. Loon's going to be joining me. Also, I think Jeffrey's going to try to join us for that Q&A as well. So we can have, because I already did a Q&A on the channel before when we hit 1K. Unfortunately, I'll put it up now so you can see the results of that hour-long video, hour plus long video that got not just copyright striked, it got blocked worldwide for using a 15-second clip of Batista bombing somebody. 15-second clip out of an hour plus long video. And sure, copyright claim it, take my money, whatever. I don't care about that. But why the fuck you blocking it worldwide, WWE? That's so crazy.
You were too dangerous for Vince. He needed to stop you.
Yeah.
Needed to contain your creative freedom.
Yeah, he's containing something, all right. There's a lot that he ain't containing. He needs to work on his containment. Um, I listen, man. So we're gonna be doing the Q&A, and I figured since we're recording so much in advance, I felt it would probably be best to go ahead and ask for your questions now. Because by the time this comes out, we might be right on the cusp of 2K, or we might have already hit 2K if some video does really well. I have no idea. So I figured, yeah, go ahead, drop any questions you have for Loon and I, for Jeffrey as well, in the comments below. And Jeffrey and I'll be recording a video sometime soon, and I'll also ask for some submissions in that video for questions. So we're going to try to put together as many as we can. Once again, we're a 2,000 subscriber community here, so it's not like I'm not expecting hundreds of questions or anything like that. So hopefully we'll be able to kind of dive in a little bit deeper and answer your questions with more than a one sentence response. So yeah, anything you're curious about, hit us in the comments down below. Go ahead and submit those questions. All right. So I alluded to failing miserably in 2024 with my gaming goals. So I guess I should go ahead and put myself in the town square and get ready for,
How many did you set out of curiosity?
oh boy, I don't even know, quite a bit. And it's a lot of failures. It's a lot of failures. So get your tomatoes ready, guys. My first goal was to get weird, to try new games. I think I always kind of do this to some degree, but I wanted to really expand on that. There's stuff like Loretta in here and Parcel Corpse, but I wish I would have gotten a little bit weirder in
I think
2024.
you did. I think you did well though this year. You did like Balatro.
But Belacher was a big thing. That was a Game of the Year nominee. Like a lot of people were playing that. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I really dove into the super strange indie bucket. Like I played a lot of the stuff that was kind of bubbling up to the top of the surface, where it was
You didn't give Kunitsu a go. There you go. That's
right.
failure.
Yeah. Absolutely. My second goal was to finish 30 backlog games. I think I got around 35 or so knocked off from the backlog, so decent there. My next goal was to get a 50,000 gamer score on the old Xbox. As as Loon and I were talking late 2023. I was like, you know what? I think I want to do this. And I did end up getting that. I'm at close to 60 now. And I know that's so fucking not impressive to 99% of people listening to this, but you got to keep in mind, I just got my first Xbox with the Series X. Well, I shouldn't say first Xbox, but like the first one where I can track my gamer score or whatever.
No,
Um,
I'll tip my hat. You did incredibly well. There were some months there where you were outpacing me in a month for, for
Telltale stuff
some.
though.
It's all gamer score is created equally.
Unless it's the damn fucking press button to get 1000 G or whatever. That shit doesn't count. Um, but yeah, and like with the original Xbox, obviously there's no gamer score, and I've had 360s, but that's the thing as well with PS3. That's such a bummer to me. Where I don't have any of my PS3 trophies because
Yeah.
I was a kid when the PS3 came out, so I was like using my mom's email account, and I never really cared about any of that continuity. So whenever I got a PS4 as an adult, I just created a brand new account because I was like, I don't have any digital games. At that time, I couldn't even buy digital games where I lived. I didn't even have like, my Wi-Fi was god awful. So none of that, I never even thought about the ecosystem in that way. Um, and so I made a totally brand new account, but I never thought about like all of my damn PS3 trophies being thrown to the wayside. And I never really care. I still don't really care about that stuff much at all. But now where I'm sitting there and I got like a 350 level, like I'm level 350 or whatever on PlayStation, it is in the back of my mind. I'm always like, damn, I wonder if I'd be like close to 500 if I had my all of my PS3 trophies. I don't think I'd be like six or anything like that, but maybe 450, something like that.
I think the thing that also I like the most about keeping a list over the course of like forever, if that makes sense, there's a bunch of games that get delisted.
True.
Delisted, servers go down. So you think of like you play like tons of Madden games. If you used to get them and then they become extremely rare because people buy the game and then they dilute that. To me, that's the more like cool things when I look back and be like, man, I was like Gwent, for instance, got delisted. One of the very few people to 100% it on Xbox and stuff
Oh,
like that.
damn. That's
So you look,
awesome.
so you look back on it and you're like, not only is it a proud of accomplishment that you got the 100%, it's no one else is going to get that ever again. So
Right.
it's kind of cool.
Yeah. That is awesome, man. I never even really thought about it that way. And I just like having the list, for the
Mm.
end of the year. It makes it so easy to go back and be like,
Yep.
yep. All right. So my next goal was I wanted to improve my vocabulary and just become a better speaker about video games. If anything, I've fucking gotten so much worse. I can barely string together words in 2024. I was actually going back listening to my Game of the Year 2023 video, and I was like, damn,
This
hindsight's a
guy knows his
motherfucker.
stuff.
Yeah, I was like, he's really that fella's really talking. He's talking pretty well. And then 2024, I can barely. I think it's just really what it is. My anxiety hit a level in 2024 that was just it's almost impossible for me to even string together words at this point. I'm just yeah, my brain is a wreck. So definitely failed that one, but I couldn't have foreseen the fucking hole in my esophagus popping up and taking away
Yeah.
some of my brain power in the year. But the next one was to take more notes. I definitely did that. And I rely on those a lot more than I ever have before, for sure. I said stop buying games that I have no intentions on playing. I think I did pretty good with this one. I I didn't pick up much of anything that I didn't at least touch, you know.
Mm.
Stuff that I won't finish. I don't really care about that part, but I wanted to at least touch the majority of the stuff that I bought. Um I wanted to sell off a bunch of games. I did that. I probably sold like 300 games or so. Finally got that
Ooh.
knocked off. Yeah.
And that pesky Switch.
I did sell the Switch as well. Yeah. And hopefully I'll be buying the Switch too. I don't when that's the thing as well with us recording this in advance, dude. We very well could be recording this after the Switch 2 has been or we could this could be published after the Switch 2 has already been announced. I have no idea. I really wonder if that thing's gonna do anything to sell either of us.
Um, I think with me buying the laptop that I got, I think I'm good
Yeah,
because that gives me access to PlayStation titles on that now because they get ported over, all the PC titles and the first party Nintendo stuff. It just doesn't do it for me. So
right.
like the side stuff, because I think Deadly Premonition 2 is on PC,
Yeah, I
stuff
think
like
they
that.
yeah.
So yeah,
Um kind of tying straight in. I said put down a game if I'm not enjoying it. Some examples like Kill the Justice League, Rise of the Ronin, Harold Halibut. I ended up finishing Hellblade 2. But then you have like Plucky Squire and some other stuff that I easily was right there at the end of, but I just wasn't totally clicking with and ended up putting it down. So I'm trying to work on that. Um I wanted to do some bigger review content and didn't really do much of that, honestly. We got San Andreas, Indiana Jones is up, Veilguard, but we ended up switching to a podcast format like halfway through the year, and we were doing a lot of big reviews inside of the podcast as well. So,
yeah, we were. It was an experiment, kind of finding footing as to what you wanted to do. So I don't think I wouldn't mark that as a L.
yeah. Yeah, 2024 was like a real experimental year for the channel in general, I would
Mm,
say. I think we got some pretty good footing at this point. Still very algorithm, we have to cater to the algorithm gods, which is unfortunate. I'm hoping at some point people will just get familiar enough with the channel and kind of know that it's of a, not to sound like an egomaniac, but to know it's of a pretty high quality bar pretty consistently, like audio's good, tons of B-roll, real effort going into researching and coming up with fun topics. And we'll get to that because that's actually a goal I have for 2025. I think I
yep.
really slacked on creativity for the content in 2024, which bums me out a lot. My last goal was to play Baldur's Gate 3 for 30 hours.
How'd that go?
Yeah. That yeah. I'm gonna be fair on this one. I got to give myself a little bit of credit. So this literally arrived on my doorstep like days after being discharged from the hospital. And so like my brain is still in a crazy state from that. But at that time it was like the worst possible state of mind I could have ever been in to play a game that's that complex and of a style of combat that I do not enjoy at all.
Yep.
I did end up putting like 10 hours into it, so I was only 20 hours off, but yeah, I well, here, I'll throw, I'm trying to find something to hang on to here, something to redeem myself. If you add up the time I spent with Metaphor plus the Baldur's Gate 3 time, I definitely cleared 30 hours in my turn-based escapades.
To be fair though, the you get the gist of what Baldur's Gate 3 is in them opening 10 hours.
Yeah,
You get what they're trying to put down and stuff. So you figured out that it wasn't you weren't going to sit there for 60 hours
right.
with that. You respect it for what it is, but you're going to torture yourself.
Yeah. And I don't know if it would have been so much torture. Like I said, my brain was in a horrible spot. So, eh, yeah, it is what it is. I failed that one, no doubt about it. I'm not giving myself an excuse. I definitely failed that goal, like catastrophically bad. But 2025. So I obviously I don't know any of your goals. You don't know any of my goals. You talked a little bit about having a couple goals that weren't gaming related. I'm really curious to hear about those if you want to kick that off to begin the show.
Invest in Bitcoin. No, not really.
Ah,
um, no, we moved down to the coast, the southeast of England, and In a lot of places in England, there is a lot of woodland and stuff. There's some nice trails around here. Kind of want to get back into hiking
Nice.
and get back out there a little bit more. Um, we ended up doing, I can't remember, I wrote it in the Discord. It was maybe 10 miles the other day of just walking around and stuff. So kind of want to keep pushing that up and up and up and just, yeah, because there's tons of historical landmarks around here. Because we're close to Dover and stuff. Tons of castles, tons of this, tons of that.
Oh man.
There's loads of places that you can explore. This is where, this was the stopgap to landing on the beaches of Normandy and stuff like that. This is where they left
Mm,
and stuff. So there's tons of because we literally where our house is a new build. These were barracks from where
wow.
people would live in and stuff. Because literally 2 roads down, there's still barracks set up and stuff that they're going to be knocking down and then making them into houses. So yeah, just want to go out and experience the surrounding areas,
Right. Right on, dude.
get a
That's
bit more
fucking awesome.
healthy.
Dude, hey, well, just to stay right there with you, that's definitely a goal of mine that I don't have jotted down, but it's one that I definitely have to work on in 2025. I'm great with cardio. I love cardio. I shoot basketball. I mean, so in the pandemic, this was the biggest game changer life decision I've ever made, ever for my health. The pandemic, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace one day and I saw a basketball goal and I have like 3 acres of land. I bought 3 acres of land way out in the middle of nowhere because where I lived growing up, I wanted to buy land there, but it was just so expensive. And so I
Mm.
just kept going north, and the prices kept dropping. And I ended up going like to the edge of the universe. I'm like literally in the middle of nowhere, but I was able to get quite a bit of land for not expensive at all. Um, and so like my big idea, I always wanted to build a basketball court. Like I want to have a half court with, either I would really like to go the full 9 yards and just deck that bitch out with the best sort of material you can find. And I'm probably not going to do that. Right now, it's still fucking grass and a broken basketball goal. But anywho, I so there was this family, they were actually a pastor was he had this basketball goal that he had for his church
Mm.
and it had like a little hole in the side of it and he was selling it for like $40 and it is like a top tier basketball goal that's like $500 when it's when you buy it new. And so I bought it for $40. At the time I had a truck that I ended up selling, but I just went down there with my truck. um and somebody came with me, either a buddy or my dad came with me, and it changed my life, dude. I was like 280 pounds at the time. Now I'm around 235-ish or so. So 50 pounds close to down. And it's all because of that. And
Oh yeah.
dieting to some degree as well. But that changed my life. So it's little things. If you can find something that you like to do
Yep.
and it's also exercise, you have won the lottery.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I still play pickup games and shit with my buddies. And like, I'm actually able to run and I have a little bit of lung capacity at this point. It's all because of that. Um, but yeah, you said you had one other kind of non-gaming related goal. I'll have to think of another one. Maybe something you say will trigger something in my brain.
Yeah. I want to read at least 2 books. I really slacked this year. I think I don't think I no, I read 1 book. And I know that sounds really, to some people that's like, come on, man. But it's
Right.
like we
We play so many
you and
games.
me, we that is our main form of entertainment. I struggle to even fit in like films, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you're the same in TV shows. I really love extended universes because a lot of the books I own are of extensions of games like Nier or Automata, Dragon Age books. Assassin's Creed and stuff, and it's like you keep buying these, but you're not reading them. You mean to read them, and that's the whole point. But yeah, I need to get at least
Yeah.
two done.
Well, I guess just I'll piggyback off you because I didn't really have a lot of I didn't have any non-gaming related ones, but you saying that definitely makes me think because I don't know if I've watched a television show. Jesus, man. I mean, I think it might have been years since I've sat through an entire,
Seriously,
yeah. But it's the same thing you've said. Like I we
man.
play games like maniacs.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like we need to do our year-end recap. Because I think PlayStation just got their dumbass shit fixed. So stupid that that year-end recap took so long to get fixed. But anywho, um, we need to do that because I think it probably rounds out to me playing games like close to 3.5 hours a day or so. Like I play games like a absolute madman. If I have an off day and I don't have anything to do, and it's not just a thing where, yeah, a lot of it is for the channel, but a lot of it's just like I don't want to fucking I like playing video games more than I like doing almost
it's
anything.
your favorite hobby,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah. If I got 10 free hours, I'll happily pour 8 of them bitches into a game. Like
Into
no it
Harold Halibut, hell yeah.
yeah, right. That's and it was about 8 hours, which should be fucking Jesus, man. 7 of those should have been cut.
uh,
Um, but yeah, man. What the fuck were we even talking about? The
Finishing TV shows.
oh yeah. I didn't even get to my point, my dumb ass. Um, so yeah, I would like to. I want to get into wrestling, man. I try so hard,
You said
and
that last year.
I've said it for like 7 years straight. I cannot. I have a buddy that I go and watch. We watch the pay-per-views together. Um, and we went this year and we watched Royal Rumble live. We actually went there in Tampa. We watched it. It was cool. But and so I'm trying. Like I'm making the effort to
Yep.
actually try. But the thing that you can't do is you can't fucking skip the Raws and SmackDowns every week because you don't know any of the stories. So when I'm sitting down watching the pay-per-views and like Drew McIntyre is crumbling up a bracelet, I'm like, what a bracelet? There's something, there's a story tied to a bracelet, and people are like losing their mind over this bracelet. I'll go and listen to a podcast reviewing whatever pay-per-view that was, and people are like, in the bracelet, in the imagery, in the symbolism, and I'm like, well, what what was the imagery and the symbol? Like I missed everything that matters about the bracelet. I just see a dude crumbling up a bracelet, and I'm like, that's the corniest shit I've ever seen. So like I need that context.
Oh,
Um,
that's crazy when you think about it, though. Because that's probably how people look at us with games, right? If you're not
oh,
a gamer
absolutely.
and if you're thinking, what are they talking about? It, it impacting you that bad, and you're like, no, hear me out.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, if you don't know anything about, Mass Effect lore or The Last of Us lore or whatever, and we're damn near tearing up talking about Thane, like this green fuck, what the fuck? What do y'all do? This guy? Yeah, so I get it. I get it. All right. Also got to be better with money in 2025. That's a big one. I'm making a little bit of money off the YouTube shit, and I need to be doing a better job of what I because I was like, oh damn, well I can pay for some video games with this YouTube money. But then I end up just buying more video games with my own money. It's like that's not the win there. Try to fucking invest in, being able to retire one day, not having to
So you can
work
enjoy
until
that
I'm
basketball court, of course. That's
yeah,
what you
it's just
need.
so I can play through a Yakuza game.
No, it's
Um,
Elden Ring you need to play through. Come on.
at 70 years
Nudge,
old,
nudge.
trying to get my dexterity stats up. 70 years old, trying to fucking press dodge roll 400 times in a row. All right, gaming goals for 2025. Here thy go, Loon. Kicking it to you first. What is your number one gaming goal for the year 2025?
Is this like genuine number one or
No, no,
just
no,
the
just the
beginning one?
first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, oh God, put me on the spot. Um, hmm, what to begin with? I'll keep it simple. I want to begin a series I haven't began. So one that immediately springs to mind is that mana game that came out, the new one.
Yeah.
Never tried any of the mana games. I went and they deep slashed the remaster ones digitally. I don't think they got physical prints on Xbox. I'm not sure if that got physical on PlayStation and stuff. But like the Mana series, that seems interesting. And the newest one looks really good. Multismal just did his review after 100% of it, and he had like pretty good glowing things to say about it.
Oh, wow. It was on sale recently. I should have picked that thing up because it looks great, man.
Hmm.
All right. Well, last year I gave myself a goal of, I think, 30 backlog games. That's not happening in 2024. That's not happening at all. 2024 is ridiculous. Or, damn it, 2025.
2025.
Yeah.
Get with the times, old man.
I swear, dude. 2024, my goal was 30 backlog games. This year, I'm cutting that down to 10 for 2025.
That's
Um,
sensible.
yeah, the 2025 has like, I mean, I just did my most anticipated games and I had 70 games on that list.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not going to be able to play all of them. I don't have the funds or the time to play, and really dive into 70 new games. But if I play half of that, which I'll play more than that, I'll probably play 50 of the 70, hopefully. Um, but there's just there wouldn't be enough time to really, especially we're getting big games in 2025.
Yeah.
And sure, some of that stuff will get delayed, but still, if half of that list gets delayed, you're still talking about 35 games. So yeah, 10 backlog games is my goal. If I had to pick, I'm not going to really go through and pick individual games that I want
I
to
was going to
play.
put you on the spot and be like, what's the most anticipated one that you want to definitely scratch off?
I'll give you one. I'm without a doubt playing Halo 2. I'm absolutely playing Halo 2 just for the fact, like the history of it. I don't even care if, because I didn't really click with Halo 1. I don't care if I don't click with Halo 2. I want to at least try to get into these games just because I've never been the person who, like, if a lot of people say something is really good, usually it's just really good. And
Yeah.
and if it doesn't click with you, like, that's fine. But
Yeah.
I don't really like the whole, um, overrated, that sort of thing. I don't think most things are overrated. I think most things are probably properly rated, but you just might not vibe with it. And like that's totally fine. But that doesn't mean something is overrated. So I'm curious to jump into Halo 2 and see if I click with that one more so than I did the first one. The first one just felt navigationally constricted. Like I had some navigation issues with the first game, and if Halo 2 can fix that up, I'm sure I'll dig it.
Yeah. Messy map layout.
Yeah.
It was ambitious for its time, but it's not aged particularly well. I enjoy Halo 2 a lot. I think you'll enjoy it a lot.
Okay.
It I think Reach for me would be the best from the story perspective.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Your favorite Um, okay, you didn't like Halo 1 all that.
Hated Halo 1.
Okay, and you like Halo 2.
I really like Halo 2.
So that makes me feel a whole lot better. Okay, cool.
I really liked Halo 2. Okay with Halo 3. And then 4 and 5, I enjoyed. I thought they were right. And then Infinite was just, I think it was a waste of a game,
Damn.
unfortunately.
That's some serious that's some serious words. Those are fighting words there, Loon.
And I say, I aim, I aim for the hot takes.
What's your next goal, man?
Um, I should have put this in with the other ones. You was talking about TV shows. I also want to do TV shows, but I want to focus on one at a time. I have this terrible habit of beginning and then being like, I'm enjoying this. This is like The Sopranos, for instance. I think I said this like 2 years ago. I was watching through it and I've just not gone back to it, even though I loved it. And the X Files as well. So it's going to be reversed, but you can probably read it. Twin Peaks.
Twin
That
Peaks.
is what I've decided to go through, and that is it. I'm going to try and do an episode each night. I watched the pilot this morning. It's boy, is that something special.
Nice, dude.
It's so weird, and I'm right here for it.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up putting things down because that's actually my next goal. Decisive dabbling, as I call it.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of a carryover from 2024. The whole idea of like I feel like I have to finish everything, and there is something to what we are doing. Where finishing a game definitely does help when we talk about it
Yep.
because I just feel like creating content, there's an extra layer of pressure to finish things for sure. But I think the thing I'm going to have to realize is that I think I am lessening my enjoyment of games by finishing bad games, if that makes any sense. Where I think good games are getting hurt
Yep.
by proxy because I'll roll into a good game after just finishing 30 hours, 20 hours of a bad game because I felt like I had to.
We both went into a slump immediately after Hellblade 2, if you
Yeah.
remember. Like it took me even longer to get out of it than you did. I think you rolled out of it much quicker than I did, but it was a slog for me, and it was just like I wouldn't say this is strong, but it's close. It was like resenting it for a while, and it's just like, man, you've really soured like my enjoyment and like want to play a game. And I think that yeah, that's we both probably maybe need to do this and
Yeah.
just
Finish the stuff you like.
finish the stuff you like because it also will help when we talk about it. Because I don't think people are going to want to, people would rather listen to something positive than negative, I would hope. So I think
Yeah, you don't.
that's the easy route. We don't take the easy route. Um, no, it's more pleasant to listen to something you enjoyed and you're excited and hyped about rather than just be like, yeah, man, this was dog. And because that time, then if we put the hour into it, dabble it, and we don't jive with it, we can then transition and put them other 7 hours or whatever into something we both enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, uh, we got to sleep at some point, and I think that's something we probably both struggle with a little bit as well, not being the best of the best sleep schedule in the world. I'm sleeping like 5 hours a night, 4 hours a night on average. And I think that yeah, a lot of factors with that. I talked a bit about it, I think, in a video recently, so I don't want to belabor the point, but yeah, I think that's a big reason also why the news content is gonna have to be a little bit more deliberate and not just jumping in. Okay, well, X company acquired 3% more share of X company. Like, I'm not covering that shit in 2025 like I was doing in 2024. It's just waking up every day, scrolling to Twitter as soon as I wake up to see if a story is broke. So, it's just like, and then on top of that, trying to play as many games as humanly possible
Yeah,
and to play
there's
as
just not
much
enough
of it.
time in the day.
Yeah. And then on top of that, having a real job that actually, that covers all of this shit that I probably need to be focusing in on making sure I'm doing a decent job of the job that actually pays my bills opposed to my little couple $100s a month on YouTube. But it's just like that's the thing when you love something so much, you end up working
Yep.
10 times as hard on the thing that you love that's giving you not a lot
Very
back.
little kickback in
Yeah.
comparison because your passion for it is driving it.
Yeah. It's like that chick where you just want that chick so damn bad. But there's this, there's this wonderful woman on the other side who treats you well, da 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 da. But it's like, damn, well, that other chick's pretty bad over there. And so you just keep on chasing with no return. And I don't want to say no return and make it like this has been the best year ever for this channel. Without it, like this has been the best year I've ever had doing any sort of content related anything. And we're building the return is building up the community and all that. And then but that's I'm not when I say no return, I'm not at all talking about that. I'm talking about the back end of the financial shit. Like having you can't really make the time sacrifice if the money's not there. And I think I gotta realize that a little bit better in 2025. Um, all right. Was that mine or did I go or did you go?
No, that was you, right?
Okay, yeah, I've talked for 800 hours, so it should have been me.
Um, hmm. Nah, there you go. This is a me pick. 100%ed this year. How many titles do you reckon?
16.
26.
Close. 10 away to
Some of them were
2600%.
yeah, some of them were pretty easy. So I won't like pat my probably about 16 of them were ones that definitely were holy crap, that's impressive. The
Yeah.
other ones are like, yeah, it's not that impressive.
You're already 80% of the way there and just cleaned it up or whatever.
Yeah, I did a lot of
Got
that
you.
this year. I want to try and aim for 30 next year. I'm
As
always I'm
as we
always
just
just
talk about trying to make more time and trying to sleep a little bit and trying to
ah man, always on the ground. I just have that itch and it comes and goes. Like right now, I finished up Unicorn Overlord, like I said. I'm working through the Outer Worlds. I'll see how I feel after the Outer Worlds because I have this thing where just it's like a light switch. I don't have that constant scratching at the back. Like I'll get a couple of 100% in and then I'll be like, okay, that's me done for like a month, 2 months, and I'm happy. So
yeah.
I'll set that goal. It's probably stupid. I think that'll be definitely one that doesn't get achieved. But hey,
Hey dude, throw you in a couple little telltale things or you've probably already
mm,
got the majority of
I've already
those.
got them.
Yeah.
Ones I don't have are like the Jurassic Park game, which is like freaking $100 right now.
That's so crazy. Yeah, I bought it last year and it was starting to climb, and I think it's climbed even more.
Yeah.
That's actually a fun game. I would recommend checking that one out if it ends up dipping in price and you can grab it. Pick that up because I think you'll have fun with it.
Mm.
Um, all right. So let's tie right back to the one I just hit about trying to be a little bit more deliberate about how I spend my time.
Hmm.
I'm not going to be doing any game of the year homework in 2025. I'm going to play what I want to play when I want to play it. Um, I think that I get in this pocket of at the end of the year, just playing anything that seems like it could possibly be game of the year. And then December, I'm sitting there with a mountain of games
All
um
right.
just trying to jump in and trying to instead of doing that, I think that ties right into that decisive dabbling of being like, okay, well, I'll pick it up immediately and check it out immediately, and that way I'm not at the end of the year sitting there with that huge ass fucking pile and trying to overwhelm myself to okay, well, does pepper grinder is pepper grinder really gonna, and then I played Pepper Grinder for an hour and I'm like, okay, well, Pepper Grinder is obviously not going to be in my game of the year list. No shot at Pepper Grinder, but okay, ease Nordics, ease 10 okay, 5 hours of ease 10 to realize it's not gonna really make much noise in my game of the year ranking. Once again, no shot at these games, but it's like instead of doing that, let's pick them up as they come out. And also sometimes just it's okay. I'm one person, and we're a duo. We're not going to be able to play every game under the sun, and I'm just sort of having to come to that realization where it's like you can't. There's just not enough hours in a given year to
Yeah.
play every single game. So, but really, this one's specifically about the year in crunch. No, because This year I got to a point where I just cut it off completely. And it was such a nice thing where I was like, oh, well, now I'm just going to play Deus Ex Mankind Divided in December. Like, what a pleasant thing to do. Now I'm going to jump into Outer Worlds in December. What a pleasant thing. Like, I don't know. It was really nice to have a holiday where it was like, yeah, play what the fuck you want to play, enjoy it. And,
And that's how it should be.
yeah,
We sometimes get a little bit caught up in it, for sure.
definitely. Game of the year stuff. Because listen, I'm not gonna lie, like Game of the Year is one of the things that boosts this channel every year where
Mm.
we can get, good traction on it. And I want to do as much due diligence as possible to make sure I'm trying as many games as humanly possible. And I'll keep doing that. But within reason. Just balance. Eat a couple vegetables.
um, kind of ties back. A lot of it is fairly um, it's not unique. It's kind of unoriginal, but I want to try and clear two series that I haven't cleared. Yeah, they can be ones that I've already started and stuff, but I don't know. It's that kind of thing. I like finishing things off. I like seeing a whole series be complete. So that could be, say, Assassin's Creed comes out, that new one, and just that would be me getting it back to being finished and stuff
Oh, okay.
and being up to date. Not knocking out like, let's go and do every Kingdom Hearts game.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was like, what video game series have you not started yet? There can't be many.
You know what's crazy? I've never played any of the Tomb Raiders before the reboot.
Oh, well, that would be fun. Going and playing because they have the classic collection. I think there's a physical of it on
Mm.
Xbox as well.
I played the opening of the Aspire collection thing. I did like
Hmm.
an hour of it.
It's rough.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think I could get through it and stuff like that. But there are a few series that elude me still that definitely could
Yeah.
get ticked off.
Yeah, those games aren't necessarily difficult. It's just like getting up to speed with the controls. That would be once you got up to speed with the controls, you'd be fine.
I think it'd be like a Silent Hill 2 thing for me, where once I
Exactly
get
like
into like
that.
the groove, it just becomes natural.
There's going to be more frustration there with Tomb Raider just because of like the precision-based platforming. You're talking about an era where that was damn near
Screaming at
impossible.
Lara, grab the ledge.
Yeah, exactly. Um, all right. So this next one, I want to buy more random physical games. You would be really
Mm,
surprised by how many indie developers and publishers are out there just releasing weird random shit still physically to this
yeah,
day. Like,
especially for PlayStation.
yes, dude. If you are playing on the PS5, you're eating so good as a physical collector. If you're a physical collector, like you just go to Best Buy and scroll up to where you sort the what you're looking through and just sort it by release date and go through just see and let me I'll make note of it to add B-roll of that. Um add Best Buy B-roll. Um, so I'll do that so y'all can see. It's fucking crazy. The amount of stuff I
Mm.
see on there that's just like, what is this? What is that? Nonstop, I'm saying that, looking through the images. And so I need to buy some of those games just because we're getting to a point now where our money is we need to be voting with our wallet to make sure that the physical games stay around for the long term. And I definitely worry about it. But the fact that there are still smaller companies out there supporting the medium that we want to support, yeah, I need to support them as well.
And perfectly tying into that, prioritize physical games for me. And it's something that I realized towards the end of this year. Indiana Jones is sold out on Xbox, where I am.
No way.
Visions of Mana is sold out. Stalker 2 sold out. I've had to go to eBay to get a copy of Stalker 2. And what you would expect has happened, where they've been grabbed off of stuff like Amazon. They get placed on eBay and they're
Boosted.
boosted prices. And because I saw there's somebody that I watched that does pickups and stuff, Persona 3 Reload for Xbox sealed was like $100. Like these, I think Xbox physicals are only getting like one print, and that's it. They're getting one
Jesus.
line of print, and then whatever happens to them happens to them. It's going to be a really weird thing where they're pushing away from physicals, kind of thing, but somehow they're the most valuable physicals right now. They have the highest amount of value, and it's crazy. And I'm kicking myself because I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to rush out and get Visions of Mana. People don't buy JRPGs on Xbox. That'll probably sit there. It'll drop in price. It'll go to 20, and it's just not. They just get scooped up now, and they're immediately relisted for like 80.
Right. Well, and it's like if there's only 10,000 prints out there, then it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if people don't buy JRPGs on Xbox. Like, sure, there's going to at
Exactly.
least be 10,000 people who want it physically. So, yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy.
So yeah, that's what I don't want to have to pre-order stuff because I don't really like doing that personally. I don't have like anything like morally against it. It's just the thing of I don't know, I just prefer to just I've had so many instances where I've pre-ordered stuff on Amazon and something goes wrong where they turn around and go, "Yeah, you'll get it on release day," and then it somehow gets delayed a week. Because I had something that happened, I can't remember what game it was, but they were like, "Yeah, it's going to be delayed a week, I'm afraid." And I was like, "All right, I'll just cancel the order and get it somewhere else." And I canceled the order, went back to Amazon, and it says, "Yeah, arrives tomorrow if you order it now." It's like, and I
The
did it, and then it
fuck?
arrived the next day, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, just doesn't make
That's
sense.
that's so fucking bizarre, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I had something wrote down somewhat similar. The homie Dan Mall from the community hit me up and he was like, "Hey, dude, just to let you know, Xbox removed a lot of the DRM for their physical titles,
Hmm.
where you can actually play some of those games straight off the disc now." And so I actually had on here to buy more physical Series X games. And what I was thinking about doing was canceling Game Pass and just buying the day one releases physically. And then it's like Indiana Jones, like you said, is a coaster. You know what I mean? Where like,
Yeah, because that's the big thing is that because Sony own the the disc, the Blu-ray thing, Microsoft have to pay every single time they print a disc. Sony's getting a cut of that. So they went with the cheaper alternative, their discs can only hold 50 gigabytes of data. So if it
mm,
exceeds that, the rest of that is a coaster. If you have something that launches and is 100 gigabytes, but they only put one disk in, then yeah, that's not going to be preserved. If they cut the internet off, that's it. You don't get to play that game
it's so dumb, man.
because they don't want to pay Sony for the premium discs that they use themselves because they have the 100 gigabyte discs, I believe, or whatever it is, like the big, huge amount of
Yeah,
storage on their stuff. And they don't want to have to be like, all right, we'll put it on two discs then, which it's just annoying. It really is.
that's so fucking silly. Um, but I was really curious like about that approach. If I cancel Game Pass and I buy their games day one, I wonder how much, because I thought it'd be a cool experiment, like okay, let's compare price. $20 a month, 12 months, 140 versus how much did I spend buying their games day one physically. And I was just curious to see how much more I would spend buying it physically day one. I thought that'd be really fun, but then it's like,
How many titles would you end up skipping as well? Because you'd be
so
like,
I know for a fact I'd buy Avowed, but that's another one, not getting a physical day one release. Um, I know for a fact I'd buy Outer Worlds 2. I know for a fact I'd buy South of Midnight, but I seriously doubt South of Midnight's getting a physical. I know for a fact I would buy um I just blanked. Fable, but it's like what am I buying necessarily? But I think that I always loved your logic that you brought up where it was like, well, sure, it might not be on the disc, but I at least own something that I can sell and get back some money for. And there is a lot of I never even really considered that before, but there's a lot of logic there.
Yeah, that's why I never felt bad of picking up stuff that requires internet and stuff. Say something example like Suicide Squad, where it says it requires the internet, and because for as long as that server is, it will have value. Someone will buy it. If you go and trade it in, it still has tangible value. So
Well, even when the server's not up, it'll have value. Like you'll be able
Concord.
to. Well, no, I'm saying Suicide Squad. At least you do have a single player thing there.
I think that was something they only just recently patched in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they said they were winding down support and they added offline support.
Oh, wow. I did
Um,
not know that.
from the
Which I
get go,
guess that
that
makes sense.
that wasn't going to be a thing because that's what people ran into, didn't they? On day one, the servers cut down; they couldn't enter the game. People who pre-ordered the Ultimate Edition or whatever it was.
That makes sense.
Um,
Makes sense. All right. So my next one, we talked about this earlier, so I'll just rapid fire run through it. More treats. I wanted to replay games that I've, played many, many times and just play stuff I love, instead of jumping into stuff with like some specific intention for game of the year or for whatever, just stuff that even, who cares about a backlog? Who cares about a game of the year? I'll play some shit I've played 100 times and just more treats, more warm, fuzzy feelings. I think that this was the first year that I haven't played like I didn't play any NFL 2K5 this year. I didn't play any SmackDown versus Raw 6 this year. I didn't play Resident Evil 2 this year. So I want to jump back into some of my favorite games of all time that I usually play like annually or every other year, but just didn't have time to in 2024, just to make that time to enjoy things that I already know I enjoy.
no, that's respectable. It's something I don't think I'm ever going to be able to replicate myself. I just have that. I don't have. It's weird. I don't have the itch where I need to complete stuff constantly, but I don't like replaying stuff as much.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing it if there's a fresh list, because that's what I'm doing with like the Outer Worlds now,
Right.
because then it feels like I'm at least gaining something from start to finish for doing it.
Yeah, it's still
It's very
some
weird. It's the
task.
completionist mindset. It really is just a shackle.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie. I would prefer to play everything that I play to have a trophy list or an achievement list as well. And it's kind of for a different reason, but still, whatever. It's still that same mindset where I don't want to, at the end of the year, this is more I think a lot of my shit's content oriented. At the end of the year, it's just so nice to be able to pull up that list and
Hmm.
immediately track everything that you played. Um, and you can't really do that without achievements and trophies and all that. So, yeah. What did you have next, man?
Completion percentage. This is the last thing related to that. But ended up looking before we started. True Achievement says the account as a whole. I wish Xbox displayed this as well. Like, come on, get your stuff together, guys. It's currently sitting at 37.25%. So for every single game stacked up in a list, and you just broke it down statistically, it's sitting at 37.25. I want to try and get it closer to 40%. Um, that feel like a good number. I don't think I'd go chasing to get higher than that because then you're really having to like chunk huge amounts of games. I'd have to go like delving back into the list years and years ago and be like, yeah, let's go play some of these really crappy 360 games to like boost up. So yeah, just want to kind of get that a little bit more rounded up.
Nice. Yeah. Um, my next one is off the wall, but could maybe be expected at this point. I want to play every game, every fighting game with a story that releases in 2025. So any fighting game that comes out in 2025, if it has a story mode, I'm gonna play it. Um, also, this kind of tangentially related. I would really like to play through Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Z, at least one, maybe one and two, but at least one. I'd really like to play through MK9, 10, and 11 as well.
Mm.
I love fighting games, man. I've really been enjoying just playing through stories and fighting games. Like it is a nice, chill, but also it's it's the one avenue in my game playing where I'm feeling like I'm learning something pretty consistently, and I can actually see myself from game to game where it's like, okay, I pick up Diesel Legacy and I'm able to actually immediately jump into Diesel Legacy and be competent at it because of playing the previous fighting games. Yeah, I'm really liking this genre a lot.
That was cool.
What
That's
you
a
got
cool one.
next?
Um, right, they all link together, so I'll save them all together. I want to try and grow the Discord that I ended up making at the start of this year. We're plucked a few guys from the community. You know who you are. Want to try and just because we're it's small. I think that there's 9 of us at the moment, but it's cool what's going on in there. We've got different server rooms for just talking, and then story clears, 100% and pickups. And it's just nice to like bounce off of each other. And I even took that step further towards about the middle of the year, where instead of because what I found was you post in the story clears, but then obviously it then gets drowned out over time by other stuff. So what I did was got everybody their own at the bottom. They have their own full yearly clear list. So if you were to turn around and ask one of the viewers, for instance, if they were in the Discord, they would be able to tell you every single game they've cleared on each month that we've kept track of. Then I had them do like an award show kind of thing, like what we did, but
Oh,
just
dope.
what was your game of the year? I did an unshackled game of the year, which was pick a game that you would be your game of the year that didn't have to release this year. So if you played like a backlog game that you feel like got a nod, most disappointed, gaming goal as well, and then most anticipated.
Oh,
And
damn.
everybody got in participation with that.
That actually sounds
So,
fun. I might have to fucking jump in there. I
oh
know
yeah, we've been trying to get you in.
I hate social media so much, man. And that's like one of my biggest goals for 2025 in general is to just kind of unplug from everything other than YouTube. I don't really want to be an active participant on Twitter anymore. On
Yeah, I
I
don't. Yeah,
I
Twitter just. I don't know what is spiraled
yeah,
big time
bad.
bad.
They're all awful, and they've been awful forever. It's just a different variation of awful at this point. And but now it's like you're incentivized to make it awful because you get paid. And what sells? Hate sells. Um,
That's why I'm proud of the Discord. It's plucking people from the community and it's giving us that corner where 99% of the time it's positive, and obviously sometimes a little frustration leaks over if you have a bad game and you're like, Jesus Christ, Hellblade 2
oh
sucks
yeah,
ass.
but that's still
But
like you're talking games and not
yeah,
yeah.
and it's all respectful and everything. So obviously I'll be in the comments as usual. I can't post the Discord link in the comments.
Can you send me the link? I can post it.
I
Can I post it?
think I think you should be able to because I can do it on my channel. Because what I was going to say, if we can't work out how to do that, just I'm in the what do you call it in the comments and stuff. They can just click on my name and just post on any of the videos on my channel. Like, can have the invite code, and I can just send it there.
Dope. Well, I'll
But
just
I
if I
can
can.
always try and give you that code and just pop it in like the description,
Yeah, you send it
so
to me
anyone
because
else can join and have a check out.
yeah, I'll put it in the I guess I could put it in the description. I'll try to maybe pin a comment if it lets me do
Yeah,
that. Um And yeah, I'll hop in there as well. Do- I'll be real. I'm not going to be an active participant
Oh, don't
whatsoever.
worry, no. I've got one of my good friends I've known in there for years. I had to badger him to get in there. But it's the thing of I said it to him, it's a selfish thing for me. It's not building the numbers. I'm a statistic driven person. The most enjoyment I get out of the Discord is building people their clear lists. I
Hmm.
don't know why I find it so relaxing to be like plucking like, oh, I cleared this and I get to put it in a list and keep it all neatly organized. I don't know. It's just OCD, something wrong with my head or something. I'm not sure, but it's just I get so much enjoyment out of that and just seeing the conversations spin off of people being like, I cleared this, and then you get like, oh, how did you feel about it? Blah blah blah. It's
Yeah.
just nice. It's
I
really
didn't know
cool.
y'all had all that fun shit going on with like game awards and stuff. I'm
Yeah,
kind of bummed that I didn't. Yeah.
yeah.
That sucks, man. I should have jumped in there.
I
I
mean, the closing date is the 31st. You can get in.
closing date for what?
What I said for the award thing that we
Oh, for
did.
the awards.
Yeah,
This isn't this will go out way after the 31st, unfortunately.
yeah. I
So,
meant for you if you wanted
oh,
to hop in.
for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
With
okay.
2 days.
Yeah, hit me that link after we record. I'll
Yeah.
hop in that bitch and fuck some shit up. Um, yeah. So let's see. The next thing up on my gaming goal list here. Okay, yeah. Okay, right. So I talked about the Xbox thing
Mhm.
that, wait, no. Fuck, I lost my. Okay, here we go. Be more open-minded. This was my next one. I want to play a couple live service games in 2025 as well. I know that that's not people are like, what the fuck? Brandon, he's losing it. He's losing his marbles. He's going to the dark side. But here's the thing. I played a little bit of Marvel Rivals and I was like, you know, this isn't fun, but like there might be one of these that I click with. And so
Exo Primal. I keep screaming it. It's so good.
so I played like a couple, I'll jump into live online matches for sports games and shit, but the thing with that is my internet is just way too bad to like it's just so bad, so laggy. I can't really like I can't compete in the same way I can in a couch competitive setting. So it makes it to where I don't want to play them, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Um and I feel like it'd be the same if I was playing anything that was super uh like if I have to be ultra responsive,
It's
I'm
like a
not gonna.
competitive shooter. You wouldn't
Yeah,
be able to like dedicate to, but something like, sorry to bring it up again, something like Exo Primal where it wouldn't be, it doesn't really matter if you're a little bit less responsive because you'll still get the job done.
yeah.
But stuff like that. Something that's a little bit lenient on the latency.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why this came up in my list this year for my goal. I talked a lot about Concord this year and I had nothing to say. And like that just kind of sucks. Once again, a lot of my shit is content oriented. I'm not gonna lie about that. But creating shit on this, and you know how seriously I take authenticity and how
Mm-hmm.
seriously I take like due diligence and making sure that if you're talking about something, you actually have had experience with the thing you're talking about. I can't say that for Concord. Now, thankfully, never once will you ever hear me say anything good or bad about the actual game because every time I talk about Concord, I have to say, well, I don't know anything about it. I'm just talking about it. And it's like, uh, that sucks. Why do I have something to say about a game? And I'll tell you why I have something to say about the game because it was a hot news item.
Yep.
And so it's like, I'm talking about it because it's doing well with views but that's the fucking trick. That's how they get you, man. That's how they get you. You end up falling down a slippery slope of, oh, well, this attracts attention, so I'll provide some coverage on it. But if you're not actually playing the fucking game that you're talking about, your opinion is useless. And so, yeah, I don't want my opinion to be totally fucking useless. Oh shit.
No, that's
Um,
fair. That's fair. Because
yeah.
it's all well and good fun. People, we do it all the time. You rib live service games. I rib live service games. But there are some of them that are worth your time. Not all of them are absolute crap. You think of like the most polished one that came out this year that is a lot like Helldivers.
Right.
Like that's an
Right.
amazing, amazing game.
I
Like
should have jumped into that.
that'd have been cool.
Um, all right, so you're next up. What's your next one? Your next goal for 2025?
So I have three left, and they are all two of them are related to the channel, and then one of them is just related to the laptop and being able to do stuff with that.
Sweet.
But setting up live streams for both my side to do stuff, maybe live streams and playthroughs, but also for the channel, like getting us live streams for what do you call it, showcases and stuff like that,
Absolutely.
because that would save us so much time on the back end of stuff. It would save you
Yes.
a ton of time and also get the genuine reactions instead of just being
Yes.
like, yeah, we liked this game. Because that was so I was it was me and Trey watching the Game Awards together in the Discord and bouncing off of each other's reaction. And even though it was just through text, it felt awesome to do that.
Yeah.
So having that, us sitting together and actively reacting to that.
Wait, can you pull up the video in Discord?
No, I think you can, but I didn't do it. You can
Okay.
do watch along stuff. I don't
Huh.
know if you can, but that could be a way of doing it.
That's what I was thinking. We'll get that's behind the scenes shit. We'll talk about that behind the scenes.
So, but yeah, just even just that being a text related interaction, that felt cool as shit.
Yeah.
So us getting it in whatever form, if that goes through the Discord or Twitch, YouTube, or whatever, I think that would be really cool to get the live reactions of us completely guessing wrong, like, oh my god, it's this. No, it's not.
Right, dude. Well, that was the thing. Like, I hit Okami on the head whenever, or Onimusha on the head when I saw the orbs. It's like, dude, I think this is Onimusha. And like,
Mm.
not I can say it, but I don't. Nobody's gonna believe me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's
I
what we were
there's no.
doing in the Discord, and that's what made it so cool. It was like, oh my god, it's this. And he
Yeah,
was like, what? Oh my god, yeah, hell yeah.
dude, exactly, man. And like the Naughty Dog thing,
Mm.
to get that live reaction, to get the Witcher fucking 4 live reaction. Are you kidding me? That would be so awesome. And so yeah, that Loon has a task ahead of him. I'm not gonna lie to you people. This is all I do not know how to do that shit. I am a technical
And neither
dunce.
do I. But I will
But see, that's the thing is Loon, we might not, neither of us know how to do it, but there's a separation where I literally can't do it because my internet is so god awful. So our hope here is that Loon on his side will be able to host the show where we're using his internet, but I'll be able to join in, and that way, I don't have the Game Awards rolling or Summer Game Fest or PlayStation or Xbox Showcase. I won't have it rolling, so it won't have to be reliant on my internet. So that way, hopefully, the video won't be choppy, the live stream won't be choppy, and it'll just be my dumbass face sitting there going, "Ooh, ooh," and I won't have to actually do anything that requires internet. Also, a thing that I'm really excited for is we could probably do live streams of games as long
Yeah.
as it's something that like a co-op thing that we're playing where you don't have to see like where um wait. Okay, so once again, I am so ill-informed. I know nothing about live streaming.
Mhm.
Uh, If we're playing, say we play Split Fiction together,
Yep.
could we live stream that without could we live stream that if my internet is bad? Would
Well,
my
yeah.
internet be a factor in that at all?
Well, your internet would be a factor in your experience in the moment to moment of gameplay. But if I'm live streaming, it would be from my perspective.
So it wouldn't look laggy that what we're on the screen.
No.
Okay. Okay. So my internet would be a factor in the gameplay, meaning like just how it already is now.
Yeah, so when you would connect to me, it would impact what you would experience, but the
Oh,
viewer wouldn't
okay.
see your experience because but it splits it. I don't know how it would work in that because it splits it down the middle, doesn't it, and gives both camera perspectives
Oh,
for both.
right, right.
So I don't know
And
how that if that might make it look a little, but that I think it would be fun.
we test it and just see. Yeah, and just go with it. And maybe like some WWE 2K25 live stream.
You just want to punch me in the back of the head.
I'm excited for that, man. That's the thing. I'm more excited for that than anything in 2025. And listen, there's a small percentage chance that we run into a bunch of issues and it is what it is. But like if we can get this off the ground up and running, this live stream stuff, I think it's going to improve the content tenfold, man. Because I know a lot of y'all would love to tune in and watch reactions with us and shit, where it's like a community that you have been with for years, people that you have been watching their content, and to sit there and watch fucking The Witcher 4 get revealed with people that you constantly tune into the like I do that shit all the time with MinMax and with Kind of Funny and Easy Allies and I love doing that shit. So I'd love to be able to deliver that for
We would
y'all
be
as
better
well.
company than the Twitch chat. That's for sure.
Right, right. Absolutely, man. All right. So was that your, yeah, I'm guessing that was your, all right. Um, hmm. Okay, so my next one is that if Xbox doesn't announce a console where you can access Steam straight from the console, I'm gonna buy a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally in 2025. There's too many indie games that I want to play that I can't play because they're not releasing on PlayStation or Xbox until like years and years later, sometimes never at all. Like 1000 times resist, I'm so bummed that I didn't get to play that. That SSX clone, I'm so bummed I didn't get to play that. Robo Dunk in 2023, I really wanted to play that. Um, the fucking mouth washing, brush tooth, whatever the game is called. The narrative driven, like super dark thing, toothbrush.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell it's called. I think it's
I
mouthwashing.
can't remember what it was called.
There's so much I really wanted to play, and if Xbox does end up doing the thing where they announce their console and it has a Steam integration built into it where you can access Steam through the console, then cool. They just sold me on a new Xbox. But also Steam has that console that's supposedly in the works. So I guess I'm gonna wait, and by the end of 2025, if nothing has been announced, that will allow me to get a Steam experience from a console, then I'll I'll
Settle for the handheld.
I'll bite the bullet and settle for the handheld. So yeah, that's mine, man.
This was another one that was like content-esque related. I wanna when that laptop arrives, not only obviously the dabble in like the live streaming stuff, maybe learn how to like properly edit and stuff and give that a go. As there's videos I'd probably give an attempt at making, and hopefully they wouldn't lag like that. Freaking this laptop is so damn old. Come
Yeah.
on, man, just hold out for like another week. That's all you need to do,
Yeah, dude,
and
that'd be if
stuff like that.
I shit, dude, if you really that'd be fucking dope if you really got into the that's the thing, if you enjoy it, you know,
Yeah, I need to give it a go and see if I enjoy it.
yeah. Because if you enjoy it, that'd be so fucking sick because I think you'd be able to create totally original stuff that like you cover such a wide range of games. Like you have knowledge in such a wide range of games that I can't really fucking provide any critical
The
analysis whatsoever.
Eurojank master.
Right. Yeah, the full history of Eurojank, like shit like that,
Yep.
you'd really be able to dive into and have if you had cool fucking B-roll and all that stuff,
Mm.
people would love to watch that. Um, See, I hope you catch the bug. I still, to be completely real, I have not caught the editing bug at all. The reason I edit so much on this channel and like include so much gameplay and all that is because I have no idea what would separate us if I didn't. I think people like our personality to some degree, but like if I'm being real, I'm just not the most personable person, period. I know that. Like in my real life, I know that. I am not all that great with building um like I'm not great with building connection on a personal level. I think a lot of it is because I don't really like talking about myself a whole lot. I don't think I don't think I'm an overly interesting person. And
I
this is
didn't
gonna
mean to nod at that. I'm just ignoring.
no,
Yeah, you
but
boring, boring person.
I am
Gosh,
boring. But that's kind of
no.
here's the thing that this is going to sound so mean, but I don't mean it to be as mean as it's about to sound. I think most people are really boring. Like, I don't think that most people live a boring life. We go to work, we come home, we sit down, watch a show, walk the dog, do the dishes, do the laundry. Like, most people do the same fucking shit. And so, once again, I know this is probably going to sound rude, but like the podcast that I listen to, when they open up and they start discussing about their daily life, I am hitting that fast forward button so fucking quick because it's never anything interesting. It's always, yeah, the kids are sick. Yeah, the wife,
Some
she
people dig that though, don't they? They dig
people love it.
the gossip, as it were, like the life gossip.
Well, yeah, people just like connecting with people and like kind of knowing, knowing a little bit about the person behind the camera. And I'm just like,
I think I'd probably fit in that boat. I
really?
really like. I try and respond to as many comments to my detriment, probably as well, and just try and get as much like discussion going because I do. I think I enjoy that aspect. That's what I also learned when I was building like the Discord bit by bit. I just love interacting like that because it's weird because I wouldn't want to. Because this is my thing. Face to face is not like desirable for me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. It's not for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm a very private person in like real life. I don't. It's not. People would go out parties and stuff in college, and it'd be like, no, I'm good, man. I'll go back and play some Metal Gear Solid 5. Thank you. That's my jam.
See, we're totally the opposite in that regard. Like, your mistake, sir. You from the community.
Mm,
You were just talking about doing the reactions with him
yeah,
in the Discord. Um, we hung out at Siege, and it was just like, we could sit there and have a 3 hour long discussion, pouring back some brewskis. Well, he wasn't pouring back some brewskis. I was pouring back some brewskis, a lot of brewskis. But
he was going for vodkas.
no, he was being a responsible adult as I was not. Um, but yeah, dude, I could sit there and talk someone's ear off for hours in person, and then we can talk about, life shit. But like my whole thing, and this is, I guess, totally counterintuitive to what we're doing right now because we're just rambling about nonsense. But my whole thing, my whole mindset with this, with the content creation is, and I know it might be the wrong mindset, it very well could be the wrong mindset, is like, I know that people have so much shit vying for their attention that I try as quickly as possible to get to the point. And I know, and it's funny, the name unnecessary rambling, but I think if you look at what we're unnecessarily rambling about, it's mostly all of substance. And I'm not saying it's great, but it's mostly, we're usually not veering off the topic and going off into some tangent about, you know, Smirnoff and Oreo cookies. Like we're typically talking
No,
video
it's
games.
on topic a lot of the
Yeah.
time. If it's veering off, it's connected to the topic at least.
Yeah.
It's not completely derailed, tumbling down the hill, and then you've somehow, like you said, ended up on something about Oreos or some crap.
And here's the thing is I think that each person, their spin is going to impact their content creation so differently because some people love that shit. And I am furious when that shit happens when I'm watching a video and it starts to spin out of control, going off. Cause like I'm sitting there eating lunch or whatever, and I'm like, motherfucker, I clicked on 2024 game of the year discussion and I'm 30 minutes in and nobody has talked about a game. I'm like, well, there goes my
Yeah.
fucking sub. There goes my. I was wanting to enjoy this sub while watching a game of the year discussion, and then that's the other thing. Timestamps, man. I find it so disrespectful to the audience of people who make long form content and don't timestamp it. I think it's like the most disrespectful thing to not value your viewers' time enough to take 5 minutes of your own fucking time to just put generalized timestamps. It doesn't have to be completely perfect, but general simple timestamps, I find that so disrespectful. So disrespectful. So I always try to be decent about that as well. Um, Not to pat myself on the back. I fuck up so much shit
The
nonstop.
greatest guy that ever lived.
I mean, dude, you talk about the technical side of things, and you could definitely make the case that I don't respect my viewers enough because I'm fucking up technical shit nonstop. But I try, man. I promise, guys. I promise I do try. All right. I don't even know where the fuck we're at. This is the definition of unnecessary rambling. This video has been the definition of unnecessary rambling. So I'll try to wrap this up quick. I think. Do you have another one, Loon?
One more.
Go
This
ahead,
is
man.
very quick. It was related to the laptop when it arrives. I think I get too caught up in like wanting to own things physically, even things that like retro and are absurdly expensive.
Yeah.
Time to just emulate.
Yep.
Time to when I get it, just stop being such a snob and just dip into that world. Because boy, are you going to save yourself a ton of money
Yeah.
by doing that.
Yeah.
So,
I couldn't agree more. I'm at the point now. That's a big reason for my Steam Deck
mm,
desires is to just emulate Rule of Rose or whatever the fuck. Like I'm
yeah,
not gonna pay $500 for Rule of Rose. I'm not gonna pay $500 for whatever the case it may be. I'll happily just emulate it. And yeah. So I'm right there with you, man. That's pretty much it. I don't really have any content specific goals other than the live stream stuff that we discussed. I also had, if I have nothing new to say, just shut the fuck up. That was one of my big goals where it's like, but that was directly tied to the Concord thing that we talked about, where it's like, if I don't have anything to bring to the conversation, I don't need to speak about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video game and content related goals on this here channel. Loon, I appreciate you for joining me, my friend, for this long ramble. And
always a pleasure.
I appreciate all of you guys out there. If you made it to the end of this video, you
What is wrong with
are
you?
yeah, you need to seek help, my friends. No, man, I genuinely it's been an excellent year for the channel. I'm very, very thankful for the success that we had in 2024. Loon, you contributed massively to the success that we had in 2024. So really appreciate it. Really appreciate all of you good people who tune in week to week. I do not take that for granted. I know that's such a hard thing to establish on the internet when there's so much competition. So greatly, greatly appreciate you all. And looking forward to 2025. I think it's going to be a damn good year. Getting the health in order, getting the mind in order, and attacking the live streams with ferocity, ferocity, right?
Yep. There you go with ferocity.
I hey man, uh, as you can tell, the vocabulary goal for 2024 didn't pan out too well.
Because you need to
Guys,
read more books. That's what you need to do. We'll swap my book one for one of yours.
refuse. I refuse. Appreciate you guys. Take it easy. Oh, Q&A. Hit us in the comments with your
Oh yeah.
questions, please, please, please. Because if we don't have any, I got to be real, Lude. I always worry so much about Q&As just not getting any questions. When I posted it the first time, I was like, oh shit, oh shit. And then the first time someone posted a question, I'm like, oh, thank God, thank
Nah,
God.
physical will happily he'll rattle off questions for you all day. He'll do like
Rattle,
20 of them.
dude, rattle off as many as y'all want, man. As many as y'all want. We have a small community. That's the cool thing about having a small community is you're actually able to interact
Mm,
on a little bit more nuanced of a level. Like we're actually able to take time and hopefully if we get, I doubt we'll get much more than like 10, 15 questions. Once again, we have 2,000 subscribers. It's not like we're pulling from a huge community here, but if we get 10, 15 questions, we can actually spend 3 to 5 minutes talking about each one opposed to getting 100 questions and having to hit all of them in a minute. So,
Yep.
yeah, man. Hit us in the comments below with your questions, and we shall see you good people very soon. Goodbye.
See you later.